Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Maeve and Brandy, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Maeve's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands. The little tiny corrections and ton of motivations that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Brandy is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and she keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in her right hand. That leaves her left hand free to give any little corrections that we give. And the only correction that we give is, like I said, the gentle tug and release on the training collar. That is the second piece of equipment that we're using. We'll talk about the training equipment on Sunday when you come and go over everything, because I want you to be comfortable with the training equipment that you're using. Now, Maeve is sitting very nicely at Brandy's left, just surveying the property. And the first at Brandy's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done, and the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking, and the command is Maeve heel. Now at this point, Maeve has a job to do, and that is to stay even with your left leg when walking. Each time that you stop your feet, she has been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. So this makes walking with your little girl a pleasure instead of a drag. And each time that you stop, whether it's to cross traffic or talk to a neighbor on the street, she should be sitting nicely at your left and waiting for her next command. And she did a really good job, and Brandy pats her for praise and tells her, good girl. If you change pace, if you're a power walker, she should do the same. If you're walking slowly, having a conversation with someone, she should do the same. If you're a jogger, which none of us here are, she should be running nicely alongside of you, and when you stop, she sits automatically. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, you do not use her name. It's the one-word command to stay. And she has come a really long way. When we first started working with her, she was a little nervous and distracted, and she's gotten much better. We know she's coming back, so she will improve. When Brandy returns back to her, she walks all the way back around to her shoulders. She stops at her shoulders, which is the important thing to remember, and then she gives her another command. Now, if she's not right with you, you talk to her. No, Maeve, heel. You give her that little gentle tug to get her back focused. Back and sit. Flatter your palm about an inch or two from her muzzle. One word firm command to stay. I don't know what she's looking at over there.
Usually there's a squirrel that runs.
Yeah, but she is looking for the squirrels. Yeah, I think so too. And this time, instead of returning back to her, Brandy's going to demonstrate the come on command. Now, we have taught Maeve that if you want praise, you sit. All 4 feet have to be on the floor at all times, knowing that your dad is elderly and that she has to be a lady. So everything is about coming and sitting, sitting and staying, self-control. She's a lovely girl. She just is, she's just Maeve. And Brandy's going to demonstrate that come command again. Now, what you want to do with her when you're heeling is you want to keep her head up off the ground. Goodness. Now, that's what to do when whatever it is you just asked her to do, she's not doing. She was told to sit, and she laid down. So Brandy just heeled her out of it, told her no, went back, left her again in the sit-stay. She has to complete the exercise the way it was taught. Brandy's going to use her name and a happy voice. She's going to reel her right in front, and she should sit. Very good. And then go back to heel and back sitting. Very nice job. Now the next commands that we're going to be demonstrating for you are your series of down commands. These are a little bit harder to teach, especially when you have a dog like Maeve, who is a sweetheart, but she is used to getting her own way. Okay, so with her seated at your left, you're going to take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. Your long down stay, practice this right in your living room. I mean, it's blowing 25 miles an hour out here. We always have our squirrels that like to torment the dogs. So she's on alert right now, but if you're practicing right in your living room, which is where you're going to use this command the most, you're going to work up to a 5-minute long down stay. And then as praise, she expects to get her belly rubbed. Now Brandy's going to heel her out of that, and we're going to show that to you again. And we've done a fair amount of work with her inside as well. So there's nothing wrong with putting your training equipment on and working right in the house. So that is your down from a heel position. Dog is always seated first before you give her the down command. Then you give her the stay. You walk to the end of your leash, and then you can either return to her or you can call her.
Maeve, come.
There you go. Good girl. She comes in and sits. And she is very food motivated, and we're not using food in this video, but it does help to keep her focused on you and not on everything that's going on around her. Now the last command that we're going to demonstrate for you is your distance down. So with her seated, you leave her in a stay, you turn to face her, just like you did on all of your stays. You're going to use your right hand this time to give the command and drop her into a down. She's Velcro dog. She wants to be on top of you. So she crawls in and lays down, and that's not perfect, but again, we know we're going to have more time with her. If you only had a week to spend with her before you had to go away with, again, on business, we would keep her longer, but we know we're getting her back so we can perfect anything that's not perfect right now. And we have demonstrated for you Maeve's version of all of her formal beginner on-leash obedience commands outside on a very cold and blustery day with squirrels. So it will only get better from here. She is a lovely, lovely girl. We've enjoyed every minute of having her, and she and Brandy have really bonded. We want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company, and we will see you Sunday.